Hi there, this is Jenny Antazari. Welcome to my painting tutorial. This summary painting is called Lemonade on the Porch. First, I'll show you the exact paints that I used for this painting, and then we'll watch the time lapse and I'll talk you through my process. I hope you enjoy it. So we're starting at the top with the sky, and I'm using Marina Mist and Blue Lullaby mixed in with some titanium white. Next, I'm starting to paint the sea, and I'm using a French blue and also a tiny bit of titanium white to lighten it up. Any broad brush will do for the sky and the sea. Next, I'm starting on the grass. For the grass, I used the celery green and the sunny yellow, mixed them together a bit over a background of white. I painted the white first so that the grass color would pop out a little bit better. For the grass, I just used a medium-sized round brush, but any brush could pretty much do. You see I'm painting the sailboat in the background now. I mostly used the burnt umber brown for this boat, but I mixed in a little bit of white to lighten it up, just a tiny bit though. For the sails of the sailboat, I used just a tiny bit of sunny yellow in the titanium white and used the angled brush to create two triangles. For the wood porch, I used the yellow ochre, the burnt umber, and the titanium white and mixed them in different places. Since wood isn't a solid color, it has variety in it, I wanted to show that in just mixing the colors in different ways. For the glass, I just mixed the blues that were already on the palette, the light with the darker, and I used just a simple rounded filbert brush. So here I'm using a broad flat brush, and I'm using it just to kind of define the sails of the sailboat by mixing the white in with the blues to cover up the extra white sail that I have on there. I'm also dipping it in a darker blue and creating the darker background of the sea, which if you look out at the sea, it's usually kind of dark out in the distance. So here I'm starting to create some white caps and foam on the surface of the sea, and I'm just dipping my brush in white and doing a kind of a zigzag across the surface of the water. This is the brush I used. I just dipped the tip in the white titanium and just gently drag it across in kind of a zigzag in some cases so that it kind of pulls the viewer towards the water. It kind of just brings you in. Here I'm using an angled brush with the burnt umber just to redefine the wood in the sailboat. Now I'm starting in with the clouds, and my favorite cloud brush is a Lunar Mop from Princeton Select. It's a 1/2 inch, and I love this brush for clouds, but you can also use any kind of a filbert brush. I'm using the lunar mop, just dipping it in the white and just making just swaths of white across the blue sky. Here I'm starting in with the detail of the grass reeds, and in order to make those vertical lines, I'm using a flat brush, dipping it into the color and just making it go directly onto the surface perpendicular to create those long lines. You can do this with multiple colors, and it's really nice for layering. I'm creating another layer of the grass reeds here with just a small round brush, dipping it into another color to create variety in the colors of the reeds, as well as layers, just to give it some depth and some variety. So I've created different layers of the grass with the different colors that I have, and mixed yellow ochre with umber, sometimes mixing it with titanium white, and even the yellow and the green, just to create depth and variety in the grass reeds. For my porch boards, I've pulled out my wide flat brush again and followed the lines of the porch slats to show the separation, but in order to create that weathered look, I used that fan brush. You can just dip the fan brush very dry into a tiny bit of white paint and pull it back from the front, and that creates kind of this weathered, skipped look. So I'm finishing up with some last minute details, like the pink lemonade. I'm painting the glass partway filled with the pink and running a little bit of white across for shine. And I'm also using the little brush to paint some pink, the same pink, out on the horizon, just for a little pop of color. It looks like a little island. And then finally peeling off the paint to reveal the final painting. I did go in later to create a reflection for the sailboat and a shadow for the glass, which you also can do. I hope that you really enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any questions, send me an email or drop a comment below, and hope to see you next time.